Welcome back, Spotlight Seekers, to Celebrity Spotlight Radio, the show where we turn the beam on the icons who light up our screens and our hearts. I'm your host, Antonio Saillant, and today, today our light feels a little dimmer. We've lost a true original, a woman whose quirky charm and fearless spirit redefined what it means to be a leading lady. Diane Keaton, the Oscar-winning actress, the fashion trailblazer, the devoted mom who adopted love later in life, passed away on October 11th at the age of 79. Her death, confirmed by close collaborators, leaves a void in Hollywood that's as wide as her iconic smile. But on this episode, we're not just mourning, we're celebrating. We're diving into the career that spanned decades, the roles that made us laugh, cry, and question everything, and the legacy that reminds us it's never too late to reinvent yourself. So, pour a cup of coffee, black, no cream, settle in, and let's shine that eternal spotlight on Diane Keaton. Let's start at the beginning, because Diane's story is as quintessentially American as apple pie, or maybe as a perfectly plated tuna casserole. Born Diane Hall on January 5th, 1946, in Los Angeles, to civil engineer Jack Hall and homemaker Dorothy Keaton. Yes, she borrowed her mother's maiden name for the stage. Diane grew up the eldest of four, with a camera always nearby. Her mom, an amateur photographer and even Mrs. Los Angeles in a homemaker's pageant, sparked that creative fire. But it was Broadway that called first. Fresh out of Santa Ana College, Diane traded SoCal Sun for New York Lights in 1966, landing her debut as an understudy in Hair. That free-spirited musical, it was her crash course in rebellion, topless scenes and all, but Diane, ever the introvert, channeled it into something deeper. By 1968, she was sharing the stage with Woody Allen in Play It Again, Sam, a match made in neurotic heaven. Their chemistry? Electric. It catapulted her to the silver screen and kicked off a collaboration that would define her early career. Picture this, 1972's The Godfather. Diane steps in as Kay Adams, the poised outsider who marries into the Corleone chaos. Opposite Al Pacino's brooding Michael, she's the moral anchor, wide-eyed, loyal, but oh so fragile. That role earned her an Oscar nomination and proved she could hold her own in drama's heavyweight ring. But it was comedy where Diane truly danced. Woody Allen, the muse and the maestro. From Sleeper in '73, where she's a futuristic revolutionary fumbling through a sci-fi farce, to Love and Death in '75, spoofing Tolstoy with deadpan brilliance, Diane became Woody's perfect foil. Her insecurity, she turned it into gold. She'd never watch her own films, plagued by doubts, but audiences couldn't get enough. Then came 1977, the year Diane didn't just star, she became a phenomenon. Annie Hall. Folks, if you haven't seen it, pause this podcast right now and stream it. Diane's Alvy Singer's Mismatched Match, a whimsical neurotic in menswear, belting out show tunes in traffic, breaking the fourth wall like it's a bad date. That lobster scene, iconic. The Oscars, she won Best Actress, beating out Jane Fonda and Julia's Vanessa Redgrave. At 31, Diane wasn't just an award winner, she was a cultural earthquake. Suddenly, oversized blazers, waistcoats, and that tousled bob were everywhere. Annie Hall wasn't a character. She was a blueprint for every quirky girl who ever felt too much. But Diane didn't rest on those laurels. As the 90s rolled in, Diane leaned into that golden age glow. Father of the Bride in '91, she's the ultimate quirky mom, Steve Martin's foil in Matrimonial Mayhem, a role she'd revisit in the sequel and spin-offs like Father of the Bride Part 2. But it was the First Wives Club in '96 that cemented her as comedy royalty. With Bette Midler and Goldie Hawn, Diane's Elise Elliott Acheson is the overlooked artist fighting back against ex-husband gold diggers. That powerhouse trio? They didn't just sell tickets, they sparked a sisterhood anthem. Through the 2000s and beyond, she kept evolving. Something's Gotta Give in 2003, trading barbs with Jack Nicholson as the ultimate cool divorcee. Morning Glory in 2010, proving age is just a punchline, even voicing characters in Finding Dory. Off-screen, Diane was a force, adopting daughter Dexter in 1996 and son Duke in 2001, well into her 50s, building a family on her terms. She battled bulimia in her youth, faced skin cancer scares, and poured her soul into memoirs like Then Again and Brother and Sister. Fashion icon? Absolutely. Her love for wide-brim hats and turtlenecks inspired generations. And that final Instagram post, snapped at home with her golden retriever, a quiet testament to the joys she held close. Diane Keaton wasn't flawless. She grappled with doubts, navigated controversies around her collaborators, and kept her vulnerabilities private till the end. Reports from her final days hint at a sudden decline, an emergency call to her LA home, but she faced it with the grace that defined her. Friends like Bette Midler called her brilliant and exactly who you saw, while Woody Allen and Goldie Hawn echoed the tributes, a national treasure gone too soon. Hollywood is lesser without her, but richer for having known her. As we wrap this tribute, I leave you with Diane's own words from Annie Hall. I am at two with nature. She was, wonderfully, painfully so. Rest in that eternal spotlight, Diane. You've earned it. That's all for this special edition of Celebrity Spotlight Radio. I'm Antonio Saillant. Keep shining, friends. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind. Good night.